Hello, I'm Jesse Brown, and I was born and raised in Cambridge, Ontario. But in grade 8, at the beginning of grade 8, I moved to Trenton, Ontario. Um, in Trenton, Ontario, I discovered this camp called Wesley Acres, and through a various string of events, I ended up being a leader in training there. And while I was a leader in training there was an older leader named Connor who took me under his wing and really started mentoring me. And he really poured a lot of intention into me, and I could see how personal he was and how much he cared for me, and really showed me how good God is. And through his actions, I learned about the love of Jesus, and that's where I really found my love for Jesus and my love for God and decided to commit my life to it. After that grade 8 year, I was going to youth group, and I discovered this new youth group, and I started attending this new youth group, and at this group I met the pastor of the church, and then this pastor really took me under his wing and began mentoring me. And then in grade 12, I did my co-op with the church. I began in grade 12 to be one of the leaders at this youth group, as well as being able to be with him throughout the week, seeing how he runs the church, learning how he prepares messages, and various other things that were important for leading a church. Another thing that was greatly impactful in my life was when I was in grade 11, I moved from Trenton to Mexico, where I lived there for 6 months. And during this time, some things that I learned that are still with me is being self-motivated. And this is from having to do school online. During these 6 months, I had no one else to motivate me. I just had to commit to it myself and read through all these things and do class myself. So I really learned to be self-motivated during this time. And at the same time I was doing online school, I also found a sports team in Mexico that I joined that did American football. But a major difference between the sports I was doing in high school and the sports here is they trained way harder and it was way warmer. It was 40 degrees Celsius temperature and just buckets of sweat and training crazy hard every day. And I think those days where even I would throw up during practice and then I'd get back up and have to keep on training, where I was pushed really hard by my coaches and learned a lot about perseverance. And that is something that is very useful for leadership and for my future. But after I got back from Mexico, I did the co-op with the church, and then I went to Bible college where I learned more about God, the Bible, which was really changed the way that I lived my life, because I wanted to live. I would always think, how does Jesus do something? So learning more about Jesus and the way Jesus acted impacted my life and the way I lived, because I would always try to imitate what I think Jesus would do. And I think these different things these key events have made me the person that I am now. So that's why I believe for my strength test, 4 out of the 5 things that I got were relationship building strengths. And I think Jesus was so relational with the people that he worked with. And I think me focusing on being like Jesus is why I have these strengths. My first is positivity. I always been enthusiastic person, and I feel as though my enthusiasm has been able to encourage people to do something and not just push them when to do something that they don't want to do, but to get people excited about something and make them feel like they want it too. I feel like that's one of my strengths. My second strength, which isn't one of my relationship builders, but I get why it's up there, is belief. That I have a core values that I stick to, and that's trying to follow Jesus. So I do love that that's up there as well, because that is why I have so many of the relationship ones, is because of trying to be like Jesus. And then I have other ones that are kind of similar, all about being relational with people, and that's really the kind of leader that I want to be. I think in 2 to 5 years, the kind of leader I want to be is someone who's hardworking, who people can look to as an example, but is also very personal, that knows the name of each person that he's working with, knows the issues that everyone is going through, and is very open-minded. I want to pour a lot into the people that I'm working with and try to be a good leader for those who are willing to listen to me, but also always being open to grow, always looking to learn at that same time. And I think that's all. Thank you.